Hi, my name is Jenny. Welcome to my channel, JK Star 80 Reader. So today I'm doing a Friday reads. These are the books I want to get to this Friday and into the next week. So it's already June 3rd when I am posting this video, and I have a few books to talk about. A couple of books I want to get to this weekend, and there are others that I would like to get to soon, but I'm not sure of my schedule in the in the upcoming weeks. So let's get to talking about the books. The first book I have to show you, it is The Summer Tree by Guy Gavriel Kay. So this is the first book in the Fiona Navarre tapestry. This is a backlist title by Guy Gavriel Kay, and it is the first in the series that follows four college students as they swept the way to a medieval world. The medieval world resembles the one they are studying in their classes, and so this takes them on adventures on horseback, visiting various places, including the castles of the lords they meet. And so this book, while this is an older title, Guy Gavriel Kay actually has a new book out that was released at the end of May, and that book is All the Seas of the World. And so hopefully I'll be able to read this book. I am about 197 pages into it. I actually started last year, but decided to return to it during this past week. So I look forward to reading the rest of this book as well as the series, and hopefully eventually getting to Guy Gavriel Kay's newer works. The next book on my Friday reads is Frankly in Love by David Yoon. So this is a book that is on my June TBR, and this book was actually popular a few years back on BookTube, but I have decided to pick it up at this time now that the hype around it has died down. This book follows a Korean American boy named Frank Lee. He has made a scheme with his a family friend. They have decided to fake date while disguising the fact from their parents of who they are actually dating. And so I look forward to reading this book and finding out all the details of the story behind Frank Lee and his family. And so, yeah, I look forward to reading more books by David Yoon, but first I have to get through this first book. So the next few books that I have to show you, they are actually part of my library haul. I have a few books out from the library, and these are just a portion of those books. So the first book I have to show you, it is a nonfiction title. It is My Aki Tree by Suzanne Barr. So this is a book by a memoir by a chef, and this details the life and work of a chef who has brought her a career food into the recipes she creates for the diners and the restaurants she works in. And so this is a book by a chef that I am not familiar with. Ever since I read the memoirs by Anthony Bourdain, I've been looking forward to reading more books by chefs, and so hopefully I'll be able to get to this soon. I have it from the library for a few more weeks yet, so hopefully in that time I'll be able to get to read it. This next title that is part of my library haul, it is a fiction title, and it is The Electric Hotel by Dominic Smith. This is a hotel that is part of the early Hollywood scene, and so this is a historical fiction novel that is set in Los Angeles in a hotel, and it follows I'm not sure who it follows. I don't remember the plot that well, So I'll just read you a little bit of what it says in the inside flap. So it says, a sweeping work of historical fiction from the New York Times best-selling author Dominic Smith. The Electric Hotel is a spellbinding story of art and love. For more than 30 years, Claude Ballard has been living at the Hollywood Knickerbocker Hotel, a French pioneer of silent films who started out as a concession agent for the Lumiere brothers, the inventors of cinema. Claude now spends his days foraging for mushrooms in the hills of Los Angeles and taking photographs of the runaways and striplings along Sunset Boulevard. So that is just a little bit of what it says in the back. The light is fading with the sunset, so it's hard for me to read it, but hopefully that gives you a bit of a sense of what the book is about. So, and now I look forward to reading it now that I have a clearer idea of what it is about. So the next book I have, it is a nonfiction title, and it is also part of my library book haul. It is The Premonition by Michael Lewis. So it's been a while since this book was published. It seems like a long time ago, and this was only published in, I believe, 2021. So it delves into probably the first year of the pandemic. And now, after the second year, there may need to be a second book. And so, even though the pandemic occurred and has been discussed and depicted widely and tracked and studied over the last year or so, it is still a relatively a new illness that has spread. And so, while this looks at I guess how America dealt with the pandemic during the first year or so, there is still more to be done to understanding the pandemic and the implications it has for healthcare and society going forward. So I look forward to reading this book and I guess getting a sense of what has already passed, and I guess also getting hints about what will be done for future medical outbreaks. So yeah, I look forward to reading this and see how I find it. So I have two more books to show you, and these are books that are part of a mini haul. These are books that I acquired over the last week or so, and I just want to show you them briefly. So this first book, it is The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. So I've been reading books by Elif Batuman. The first book was The Idiot, and so that book was inspired by this book, The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I actually had the older version of this book, but I left it in a little free library. So I was finally able to get a newer edition of this book, and so this is the one I was able to purchase at a local independent bookstore. So yeah, I still have the receipt inside it, and I've entered it as part of my spreadsheet of books that show the ones that I have acquired, and so it is part of the system that I have in place, and I am ready to delve into this book sooner, if not later. And one more book to show you, and this book is Animal by Lisa Taddeo. So this book was released a couple years ago, a year or two ago. I forget the exact date, but now there is this paperback edition, and I'm looking forward to reading this book. It is a woman who decides to take a revenge against those who have harmed her. And so, yeah, I guess a quick summertime read, maybe with some more difficult topics. And so I look forward to reading this book and see what the hype was about when it was released. Okay, that is it for me, and hopefully I'll be able to get to one or two of these books, if not all, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!